win the group and advance to the Under-17 World Cup. For Trinidad and Tobago, they need an outright win. And despite the goal difference, they would, with that victory, win the group, and they would get the spot in the World Cup. So that's where things stand in this group. Earlier today, it was Guyana and the British Virgin Islands playing their final games in the group. And they tied 1-1. And now this final game of Group B set to commence with the officials and the players now parading out onto the pitch.
Damas y caballeros, démosle la bienvenida a la clasificatoria sub-17 Concacaf 2025 a los equipos nacionales de Costa Rica y Trinidad y Tobago. Damas y caballeros, le pedimos ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Trinidad y Tobago. Damas y caballeros, a continuación escucharemos el himno nacional de Costa Rica.
Blanca y
Could be a big night here in Costa Rica for the host nation in Group B, as they try to secure the top place in the group and move on to the Under-17 World Cup. Starting lineups for each team, and first for Costa Rica. This is a side that is largely unchanged throughout the week. Ethan Barley is the dangerous striker, the number 9 through which everything goes through on offense. Randall Rowe is the manager for this team that is typically very good in possession. They're crafty and they do have pace, especially on the flanks. Our officials, led by referee Michael Venn of Canada, and they will greet the captains here at midfield for the coin toss. Nkosi Fonset of Trinidad and Tobago, already out there at midfield and awaiting his counterpart, Tiago Cordero, who now joins him for Costa Rica. And now for Trinidad and Tobago, here is their starting 11. They play 3 across the front there. Josiah Kalecharin is the top goal scorer on this team with 5 goals through the first 3 games. Sean Cooper is the manager for Trinidad and Tobago as they try and come away with an unlikely victory to top the group and get a spot at the World Cup. A warm night in Costa Rica as Los Ticos in the red battle Trinidad and Tobago in the white. The 2 teams at the top of Group B, and this is the final game in the group at this Concacaf Under-17 Men's Championship. Whoever wins this game will win the group and secure their position in the Under-17 World Cup. If it is a draw, Costa Rica will win the group and get the berth because they lead on goal difference by a pretty significant margin of 6 goals over Trinidad and Tobago. Both teams with 2 wins, no losses, and 1 draw, but Costa Rica has been sensational offensively, scoring 19 and only conceding 2, while for Trinidad and Tobago, they've scored 13 and also allowed 2. So very impressive numbers by both sides, but Costa Rica just absolutely on fire on offense through their first 3 games. They clobbered St. Martin 12-0. They beat the British Virgin Islands 5-0 and then tied Guyana 2-2. While for Trinidad and Tobago, their most one-sided game also came against St. Martin when they shut them out 9-0. They beat the British Virgin Islands 3-1, and they also tied Guyana by a 1-1 score. So identical records and a chance for either team to win the group and go to the Under-17 World Cup. It's very simple. You win and you're in. A draw and it goes to Costa Rica. This Costa Rica team, very good offensively. The patterns of play, the architecture of their offense, the way they're able to maintain possession, play through the middle or down the flanks. While for Trinidad and Tobago, this is a team that typically relies on their pace from the outside, and they'll play more on the counter throughout the first 3 matches for each team. Costa Rica has always enjoyed more possession than their opponents, and that figures to be the case again here tonight. They also have the benefit of playing on home soil. There are 8 groups in this tournament, and those groups are spread across 6 venues. One of those here in Costa Rica. So this is the host of all the games in Group B. They've used 2 venues, one in the capital of San Jose, and then this one, the Estadio Alejandro Morero Soto in Alajuela, Costa Rica. And now hosting this final game of the group tonight. Earlier, it was the British Virgin Islands and Guyana playing their final game, ended in a 1-1 draw. And now, as it should, the group comes down to the final contest here on the last night in group play. And yesterday, 4 teams finished up and secured a spot at the World Cup. Honduras, Panama, El Salvador, and the U.S. And now 4 more spots to be decided here this evening. Foul here on Sebastian Lopez and a free kick for Costa Rica. Maybe sold that one a little bit too. There was contact from Seth Hadid of Trinidad and Tobago. Not that much, but enough to earn the set piece. Cooper, the head coach for Trinidad and Tobago, opposed by Randall Rowe here this evening. It is a dry night, although there is still a chance of rain during the other game this afternoon, the British Virgin Islands and Guyana. It poured in the second half, but the rain has stopped. The field's still wet, but it is warm with the temperature just north of 70 degrees. And a foul and another free kick for Costa Rica. Costa Rica, one of 4 nations to have ever won this competition. They won their lone tournament back in 1994, joining Cuba, a 1-time winner, the United States, which has won 3 times, and then Mexico, which has won more than anyone else, the Mexicans claiming 9 championships. And Costa Rica hoping to take advantage of the home field advantage here to get what would be their 3rd win in 4 games and win Group B. Trinidad looking for a spell of possession here. trying to establish their cadence and their rhythm here in this game. 6.5 minutes deep. Finally able to connect a few passes. That always settles things down and gets a rhythm going. You need a few touches to finally feel like you're engaged. They've been chasing here in the early going. Kind of a frantic start to a degree. Dominic Joseph is dispossessed. But an impatient ball forward. Sometimes you will see that at the youth level. Players trying to get forward too quickly and just playing an aimless long ball when they don't have any support up the pitch. Now Joseph, he'll run the midfield for this Trinidad squad. And throw in. Marcus Brown ushered it out. Philip Nelson, the player on that right-hand side, very dangerous for this Trinidad squad. He went right into him. So the free kick, I'll just play it back toward the middle. And then go from distance. Not the wisest decision. Long shot from Adam Pierre, never had a chance. Trinidad wins it in a foot race. And that's not often the case against Isaac Badia, who is one of the fastest players on the pitch, but Chaz Williams did a good job of running him down. Williams, who belongs to Inter Miami, and Badia, who plays for Alajuelense in Costa Rica. And Badia, the top goal scorer for this Costa Rican side here in this tournament with 4 tallies so far. Trinidad scampering out of their own end. And quickly trying to strike on the counter here in this 10th minute. Now Williams trying to go short side. Now this is the first edition of this tournament that aligns with the new annual FIFA Under-17 World Cup calendar and a new format for the tournament consisting of a single round, 35 teams split into 8 groups, each team playing every other team in its group one time. And all that matters is winning the group. No points for second place. You win the group and you advance to the Under-17 World Cup. There are 8 spots from this region in Concacaf awarded to the bracket at the World Cup, and this is the tournament that decides who those 8 will be. Again, Honduras, Panama, El Salvador, and the U.S. have already locked in their positions, winning their groups yesterday. 4 more teams set to win their groups and secure their positions here tonight. This is the final night of this tournament. After just over a week of play. Going back to the 80s, it started as an under-16 competition, and then beginning with the 1991 edition, which was ironically enough in Trinidad and Tobago, FIFA finally officially designated it as an Under-17 championship. And now Trinidad building into the final third. Shot deflected and right into the arms of the keeper, Ian O'Rourke, his first significant touch of this match. This Group B is the only group that had 5 teams. So you had Costa Rica, Trinidad, Guyana, British Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. Well, every other group had 4 teams apiece. That odd number of 35 teams in 8 different groups. There had to be one group that had an extra squad in it, and that was Group B. It's a nice touch off the distribution. Foul and a free kick for Trinidad. A lot of red shirts for Los Ticos back defending. Pass misses Joseph. Some physical, scrappy play here in the first quarter hour. Joseph this time lays it out wide. White shirts flooding into the box. Kind of an errant volley, but it does the job getting it out of the 18. Neither team all that sharp here in the early going. Nerves perhaps playing somewhat of a role with so much at stake. Trinidad doesn't always get an opportunity to play in a game with high stakes like this. Costa Rica happens a little more often, but still not on your home soil, and with a chance to get that spot at the Under-17 World Cup. They can win the group and lock that in, all with their performance here this evening in front of the home fans. So a big Sunday night here in Alajuela, Costa Rica. Anytime you would otherwise look at a team like Trinidad and you would say, all right, through 3 games, you've won 2, tied 1, and lost none, scored 13 goals through those 3 games and conceded only 2. That's pretty good. That should be enough for first place by a pretty healthy margin. But then you look at Costa Rica, same record, but 6 more goals scored. So 2 teams prolific offensively meeting here tonight to determine the Group B winner. Shot that was influenced from behind with the defending and just kind of bounced in on goal and never really a true threat. A lot of blind passes in trying to get forward. And there's a bad giveaway. And a bad shot too. Costa Rica with Isaac Badia letting it go. Tough angle, long range, very low percentage. He is their leading goal scorer with 4 goals through 3 games. On the other side, Josiah Kalicharin has 5 goals for Trinidad. But neither have been very persuasive here in the first portion of this match. Never saw him coming. Sometimes these teams have been guilty of just trying to go too quickly when they win possession, trying to get upfield and play in transition, playing those long balls, which can be a lower percentage type of pass, instead of settling into possession, maybe moving forward on the dribble, trying to connect some passes as you're going forward at pace. A little too impatient. Now a chance for Costa Rica. Trinidad getting back defensively. Now Joseph only slotted it through the channel, but overhit on the pass. Trying to find Hadid. Properly weighting those passes, always a challenge. You don't have a lot of time, tight quarters, defenders all around, so you have to be quick and precise with your execution. Good idea. Joseph back for Caprietta. And a long-range shot right at the keeper, Ian O'Rourke. So both teams taking their chances from well outside the box. Maybe not the smartest plays. Would be well advised to advance the ball through more steady progression and pattern of play that allows for a build-up to create a higher percentage opportunity in the final third. Now into the 20th minute of a scoreless first half. Still looking for the game's first really genuine goal-scoring opportunity. This is the first corner kick we've had in the match. Took us over 21 minutes. Sebastian Lopez plays for Herediano. Lopez with the outswinger and headed out. Now a turnover in the midfield. No Costa Rica players up forward to take advantage high up the pitch. And again, an opportunity for Costa Rica, but no red shirts on the opposite side of the field, a lot of white. And so Costa Rica just has to bide their time. And now a chance from the right-hand side. Shot knocked down and cleared away. Well, the really first good save, Levi Williams of Inter Miami for Trinidad in goal. Had to dive to knock that one clear. And a free kick here for Trinidad. And clear foul on Nick Bennett. That was the save once again. Joseph out wide. Now lobbed all the way across. Jaden Caprietta got a lot on it, but it sailed over everybody's head, even his own teammates, and out of bounds. Trinidad building again. Caprietta. Joseph on the turn. Trinidad settling in. Joseph looks for space. Clean tackle. And now Costa Rica trying to play on the break. Just over the midpoint of this first half. Some physical, chippy play at times. But still no scoring here. 25 minutes in. And Caprietta can't control that. Costa Rica displaying some more patience now in possession. Both teams looking for that way through. Back lines have been fairly tight. Feels like the game has settled down somewhat. More of a frantic, energetic first quarter hour with some end-to-end play. And both teams trying to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. Now it's settled into a more measured affair here. Extended spells of possession, probing, just looking for the right opportunity, not playing low-risk passes or long balls, just trying to figure out the smartest option, but not forcing it. Costa Rica especially kind of going through the gears now. It's a good combination. And also a good defensive recovery. Adam Pierre, who's been solid all game long. Yarlin Sosa on the throw-in. And that's a late challenge. It's going to be a yellow card, our second of the first half. Williams goes in the book as he takes down Sosa, who had a step on him in making that run. He knew that he was about to get beat and it would be dangerous to allow him in on goal, so sacrificing the yellow to stop the play. He's in the book and the rain has started here. Really seems to be coming down now in this 30th minute, and probably the most dangerous set piece that either team has had. This free kick from just outside the area for Costa Rica as they look to break the deadlock. Sebastian Lopez, one of the two players standing over it here. Fired in and headed wide by Jaden Caprietta for a corner kick. Will be Lopez, who once again goes over to take the corner. Costa Rica with 19 goals through 3 games, but none so far in the first 30 minutes of their final game. Out shooting Trinidad, though, so far in this first half. There's a header just over the top. Thiago Cordero rising here, but kind of caught the ball on his way up, so it was hard to head it down on frame. As I mentioned earlier, there are 4 berths in the Under-17 World Cup that will be given out here tonight to the 4 group winners in the final evening of competition here at this Under-17 Concacaf Championship. Here in Group B, it will be either Trinidad or Costa Rica, whoever wins this game. If it ends in a draw, it will go to Costa Rica. Meanwhile, over in Group A, Canada well on their way to winning that group. They are leading over Bermuda 5-1. So the Canadians seem to be in position to book their spot in the Under-17 World Cup soon. Served in and headed out for a corner kick. If this game should end in a scoreless tie, Costa Rica wins the group and goes to the World Cup. Dominic Joseph on the corner. He plays for Vancouver FC. Poor cross. And then an ill-advised shot. We've seen a few of those attempts from so far outside the box and so many bodies between the player who takes the shot and the goal itself that it's just a wasted opportunity. .35th minute. Just over 10 left here in this first half. Now that ball is not going to roll out. Costa Rican defender got himself pinned in the corner there. Erlan Sosa. But he escapes as it's played off Caprietta and out. Now, Costa Rica has had the better scoring opportunities, but Trinidad is going to have to engineer something because they need at least one. They need a goal. A scoreless tie does them no good. And if they concede first to Costa Rica, then it's doubly difficult because then they got to score at least two. They need the victory. Costa Rica just a tie. It's going to be played over the top. Medea swings it in. It's deftly volleyed away, though. Joseph swung down from behind, but no call. It's a good ball, played through the outside of the foot into the channel, and a throw in for Costa Rica. It's going to be a foul and a free kick for the home side. Jaden Caprietta called for the infraction here as Sosa tried to get a step. Costa Rica, a one-time winner of the Concacaf Under-17 championship, but it's been a while. It was 1994, the only time they ever won it. Matching Cuba with one win in the tournament, while Mexico and the United States have dominated over the years since they first started playing back in the 1980s. '40th minute in Costa Rica. No score between the home side and Trinidad and Tobago. Dia slips it forward, and two players colliding as it slides out for a goal kick. That's a good effort by Badia. Time Trinidad trying to go vertical over the top and through the middle. Clever ball. Now Joseph. Oh, the marking's so good, so physical. And a foul on Trinidad here. Free kick to Costa Rica inside the final 5 minutes plus stoppage time here in the first half. Psychologically, Costa Rica is in that precarious position where they know that a scoreless draw is enough to get what they want, win the group and secure their spot at the World Cup. They also realize that a goal or two would definitely seal it, especially the way this game is developing. But how much do you want to risk in terms of committing players forward, trying to get that goal or two, versus protecting the position you're in right now, not be vulnerable at the back, and just try and sit on this scoreline and play it out. It's all about your appetite for risk and the risk-reward scenario. How conservative do you want to play it? And trying to perhaps just aim for the tie. Sometimes that can backfire, and you go a little too defensive, and all of a sudden you give up a goal, and then you're chasing the game, versus trying to be too aggressive on the front end, and then you're overly assertive, and all of a sudden you leave yourself open at the back. Always a calculation that every team has to make in a situation like this, and that is El Piojo, Miguel Herrera, who who is the Mexican coach of the Costa Rican national team. So here tonight on home soil, watching the under-17 version of the Costa Rican national side and hoping to see them in the under-17 World Cup later on this year. This is Padilla chasing it down for Costa Rica. 1v1. Try to beat his man, but he's closed out by a couple of defenders. And we're going to go a whistle here and a yellow card. So the yellow to Trinidad, free kick Costa Rica. So the defining moment now coming here in this first half. So a penalty, and Padilla lays it on the spot. This would be for his 5th goal of the competition in just 4 games. Really put Costa Rica in control of the group. Isaac Padilla slots it home, and Costa Rica lead 1-0 here at home. Well taken penalty, even with the keeper guessing right when it's blasted into the corner with that kind of pace and precision. Even when the keeper goes that direction, it's hard to stop. So Padilla nets the first of the evening as we are beyond the 45 minutes of regulation here in the first half. 1 additional minute has been added for stoppage time, but now Trinidad is really up against the wall here. They've been outshot and outpossessed in this first half. If they are going to win the group and go to the World Cup, they're going to need at least 2 goals. They got to get a win. A tie is not sufficient. So they need 2 goals now as they trail 1-0. Looking for the cross. Battered away by O'Rourke. Hammered into the stands. Well over the allotted stoppage time. Trinidad now has to turn the screws. They'll have to take chances the rest of the way. Floated a bit too heavily and into O'Rourke. And that is halftime here in Costa Rica. So a late penalty allowing Isaac Padilla to score his 5th goal of the tournament for Costa Rica right at the end of the first half. And Padilla gives Costa Rica the 1-0 lead on Trinidad and Tobago, and 1 foot in the Under-17 World Cup as they are closing in as the winners of Group B taking an additional step here with 45 minutes now left to go. Well, as the rain continues to fall, we are set for the second half in Costa Rica, with Trinidad trailing Costa Rica 1-0. A late first half goal on a penalty. Isaac Badia, his 5th goal of the competition. And Costa Rica very much tightening their grip on the group. For Trinidad to overcome this deficit, they would need at least 2 goals, win the game outright. In that case, they would win the group and go to the World Cup. Anything short of that, and Costa Rica claims Group B and the spot from this group in the Under-17 World Cup later this year. So Costa Rica feeling very good about their chances as they begin this second half on home soil. Costa Rica started to really grow into the game late in that first half, creating more chances and settling into protracted spells of possession where you felt like they were really in control of the game, while it was a little more back and forth earlier in the first 15 minutes or so. Let's see if that pattern continues at the outset of the second half. Trinidad will have to take some more chances and try to get numbers forward here because they need at least a pair of goals. Throw in deep in the Trinidad end. And a foul and a free kick for Trinidad. Some activity around the other groups. Canada beating Bermuda in Group A to book their spot at the World Cup, while in Group E, it's Haiti and Guatemala, and they're playing right now. Haiti leading Guatemala 1-0. They're also at the start of the second half, and a draw is sufficient for Haiti to advance to the World Cup from Group E. So slowly but surely starting to fill out the spots from Concacaf as the battle continues here. Can Trinidad muster enough offense to put up a fight here, overcome this Costa Rican team, and win the group? Each team, identical records coming in, 2 wins, 1 draw, no losses. Costa Rica with wins over St. Martin and the British Virgin Islands. That's the same story for Trinidad. And they both tied with Guyana. The big difference came on actual goal difference in their games with St. Martin, as Costa Rica won 12-0, Trinidad won 9-0. And then Costa Rica also beat the British Virgin Islands by 2 more goals than did Trinidad. It's been a physical game so far here. Fouls on both sides. We saw several bookings in the first half. And while Costa Rica, as I said earlier, leads everybody by a wide margin in this Group B on goal difference. That no longer matters, considering that this final game all comes down to who wins and who loses. Because if it's a draw, Costa Rica goes through, and then whichever team would get an outright win would also win the group. Because it's a head-to-head matchup and the records are identical coming in, it just becomes a 1v1 matchup in that regard. Now, good chance for Costa Rica if they can attack with pace here. We'll get a corner kick. Marcus Brown tried to curl it across, out off Pierre. Pretty good service, and then just hammered away. Now Joseph playing it into space. They can't get there. A little too far for his intended target, but they will get a throw in. The boot staying up on the head was what brought the referee over. Costa Rica on a few different occasions, just a step or two away from breaking in. Well, so far in the second half, opportunities in the final third have been few and far between for Trinidad, and they are the ones who need them the most. That's a good read on that play. Trinidad will have to press a little bit more. Don't know if they're capable of really putting enough pressure on Costa Rica to turn them over the way they need. This is Joseph. Costa Rica not sitting back in a low block or a shell here. Still playing somewhat on the front foot, even with this lead. And a long shot, never made it into the 18. That was dangerous. There was nobody back, and there were 3 red shirts ready to pounce. Now Joseph with just a little space and played through a little too quickly. And again, a pass just too far out of reach. We've seen that so many times here tonight from Trinidad. This will be played all the way across, and the header is well out of play. Ooh, just barely clearing it out. And again, the physical play that started in the first half continues here. A lot of one-on-one jockeying. Ethan Barley in the book now with the yellow here as we approach the 1 hour mark. Now Trinidad unable to find a way through. And really starved for any kind of offense. Little creativity, no ingenuity. They're barely getting into the final third. Even when they do, they're just not engineering any kind of real chances here. They all seem to just die before they get there. It's time trying to play through the channels, and more often than not, it One hour in and 30 minutes left. That's all that's standing between Costa Rica and a spot in the Under-17 World Cup. It's going to be volleyed over everyone. Chance for Costa Rica now. And things a little disorganized on the back line for Trinidad to try and make a play here. And it will wind up as a throw-in. And in front, it's dived on at the last second by Levi Williams. Good chance. Opportunity for Badia to get the brace. Muscling through the middle here. And then just losing it out of bounds. Trinidad need two. And really haven't come close to even scoring one. And that one will just trickle out. That close to a 2-0 lead. Costa Rica looking for that insurance killer below. Trinidad trying to exploit the space. Change the point of attack. Joseph manhandled, but he'll come back for it. Not much time and space for Trinidad to work. Lobbing it over the top, hoping for that second ball maybe. Costa Rica shutting everything down right now. Trinidad having to recover on defense after getting numbers forward, so having to play at both ends, it's going to wear on them. They need 2 goals and have just a little more than 20 minutes to get them. Slowly walking over to take this corner kick. Trinidad just clearing, but they're going to have to try and maintain possession here and not just scramble defensively. Pair of substitutions now. 2 players leaving for Costa Rica. Sebastian Lopez and Marcus Brown are going to come out here in the 70th minute. Ernesto Umania and also Luis Medina will enter the game. 2 players from Alajuelense in Costa Rica. Costa Rica still controlling the majority of the possession here, even though it's Trinidad, the team that needs 2 goals. Costa Rica breaking. And a free kick. Well, so far, when it comes to the teams in this tournament that have locked up their spots at the top of the group and secured their spots at the Under-17 World Cup, you have Honduras, the U.S., Panama, and El Salvador from last night. Tonight, Canada taking their spot, and Costa Rica hoping to add their name as well by winning this Group B. Haiti in position as well over in Group E to also advance the way that game is unfolding in their final contest. And this is the last night for teams earning spots from this Concacaf region in the Under-17 World Cup to be played later this year. Turnover in midfield. Padilla, who has the game's only goal. A run down and a throw in for the home side. Can Joseph start the break? Costa Rica coming, long shot and a save as it goes right into the arms of keeper Levi Williams. Well, neither keeper has been all that busy here tonight. None have had to make truly remarkable saves. There haven't been a lot of shots altogether. Most of the action has been in the middle of the pitch, and when things have started to develop towards the final third, they have broken down and things have gotten away from both teams before they've really gotten to the point of getting a shot on target. Things just not following through in terms of execution offensively in the final third, so the keepers really haven't been all that busy. Just one goal, and it came on a penalty shot in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Now a quarter of an hour left to go here from Costa Rica. And 2 more substitutions coming on, this time both for Trinidad. It's going to be Timothy Valentine and also Caden Trestrell. Philip Nelson exits after 3/4 of the game. Time running out on Trinidad. And a whistle here. Now let's see. Whistle came behind the play. And it indeed is Yerlin Sosa who is down here. Ooh. Well, he took a shot, no doubt, from Jaden Caprietta. Certainly worthy of a card. And Sosa will get the medical treatment. That's a good flick down the line. And an errant pass out of bounds. Trinidad still need two. Closing in on the 80th minute here in Costa Rica, as the home nation looks for their 3rd win in 4 games and hopes to finish this Group B with 3 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. If this score holds, they'll also wind up with 20 goals from 4 games with only 2 conceded and 3 shutouts along the way. The only time they've really been tested is the 2-2 draw with Guyana. Trinidad and Tobago, this would be their only loss in the group. 80th minute. And the only goal coming on a penalty in the first half. Now it's that final pass that's really been lacking in quality from Trinidad. Either overhit, underhit, just not where it needs to be. That's been the story of this entire game, and a big reason why they're still shut out through 80 minutes. And looking more and more like a team that will not win the group or get a place at the World Cup. Neither team really testing the opposition keeper. But Costa Rica hasn't been incumbent to do so. They haven't been the ones forced to pursue those offensive chances, because coming into this game, a draw would have been enough to see them through. And certainly a 1-0 win is sufficient to win the group. So it's more on Trinidad to try and engineer those opportunities, and so far they have been lacking for the team in white. And now inside 10 minutes plus stoppage time in order to come up with 2 goals. Good chance for Costa Rica here. Cut back at the top of the box, but the shot is blocked at the top of the 18. And then a long-range shot hits the upright where the post meets the crossbar in that corner. What a strike, what a goal it would have been. And what an exclamation point on this victory that would have sealed as Adriel Perez hit a screamer. Look at this, how close it was. Keeper totally beaten. Would have been one of the goals of the tournament. And a lot of pushing and shoving here. Tempers are starting to heat up. So our referee trying to calm things down. Trinidad really has to push now. Five minutes left. And coming in next, Kristen Gomez for Trinidad. On setup, will exit. Now this is a race. 1 against 2. Corner kick. Killing more of this clock as Costa Rica inch closer to the World Cup from Concacaf. Already earning their spots this weekend: Honduras, the US, Panama, El Salvador, Canada. Haiti is on their way, and Costa Rica could be next. It's headed down, and there is the game-sealing goal for Costa Rica. The header off the corner in the 87th minute. A terrific strike from Ethan Barley of Alajuelense in Costa Rica. 2-0 the lead, and Costa Rica now can see their future in the Under-17 World Cup. Good service towards that back post. Barley rising, heads it straight into the ground, so he gets the bounce past the keeper off the underside of the bar. And Barley with his first goal of the tournament, and one that will lock it up for the home side. Their 21st goal in 4 games this week. So now the remaining minutes basically a formality here. Substitution for Costa Rica. Caden Ferrier is going to come in. And also Carlos Urbina. And Trinidad will make a change as well, it looks like. But down to the final few minutes, Trinidad at this point would need 3 goals, and that ain't happening. Going to be Honduras, the U.S., Panama, El Salvador, Canada, Costa Rica. It looks like Haiti as well. Among the teams earning their spot from Concacaf in the Under-17 World Cup here on this final night of this Concacaf Under-17 Championship. 89th minute in Alajuelense, Costa Rica. And the Costa Ricans working on their 3rd shutout in 4 games this week in their home country. It has been a very impressive performance. Three of the 4 very one-sided. The Guyana draw, the only one that was really close. This one, even though the score is not out of hand by any means, it has really been a game that's been controlled by the Costa Rican club. It'll be blasted away by Williams, the Inter Miami keeper. Look at the second goal. That's all you have to do. It can be very simple. If you head it into the ground, you get the bounce, and just inch perfect. '90th minute. Costa Rica poised to finish with 3 wins, no losses, and a 1 draw, 21 goals, and just 2 conceded. Trinidad will finish 2nd in the group. This will be their first and only loss. They'll finish 2-1-1. Guyana finishing in 3rd place. The British Virgin Islands in 4th, and St. Martin without a win. And with 4 losses, they will be at the bottom of the group in 5th. Come up on the 90-minute mark. Free kick Costa Rica, and 5 minutes of stoppage time have been posted. Costa Rica, a one-time winner of this Under-17 championship back in 1994. This will be a significant moment for them this year as one of 8 teams from this region to win their group and earn a spot at the Under-17 World Cup later on this year. A first half goal from Isaac Badia, the team's leading scorer in the tournament, and a late second half goal from Ethan Barley, his first of the competition. 2-0 over Trinidad. And now just finishing things off here in stoppage time. What a week it's been for Costa Rica in their home country. And one more substitution. Gustavo Villar is going to come on. And Yarlin Sosa will exit in stoppage time. This is poised to be the third shutout in 4 games for Costa Rica. And a convincing performance over this week-long tournament in their home country to win their group. Midway through stoppage time. And a free kick coming up. Trinidad has not been shut out in this tournament. Running out of chances here with 2 minutes left. Just moments away. One minute left to play. On a warm and wet Sunday in Costa Rica, it's going to be a milestone evening here on their home pitch. Half a minute. Trinidad at this point just trying to avoid the shutout, but it's not going to happen. A convincing win on the final night, and Costa Rica is going to the World Cup. You see what it means, and also how it feels to do it at home, in your home country, in front of your home fans. A tremendous week, going undefeated through the group. 3 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. Scoring 21 goals and allowing only 2. And here this evening, it's Isaac Badia and Ethan Barley with goals on either side of halftime and a 2-0 victory over Trinidad and Tobago. The 3rd shutout win in 4 games for a Costa Rican team that is going to the FIFA Under-17 Men's World Cup. For Trinidad, they fought valiantly, took it down to the final night, but just couldn't match the Costa Ricans. They suffer their first loss of the tournament in their final game. And now all 8 spots have been locked up from Concacaf for the Under-17 World Cup. Honduras, the United States, Canada, Panama, El Salvador, Haiti, Mexico, and Costa Rica. Those are the 8 that win their groups here at the Concacaf Under-17 Championships, and those are the 18 from the Concacaf region who are headed to the World Cup later on this year.
Histórica, estamos listos para reconocer a la selección nacional de Costa Rica que clasifica a la Copa Mundial Sub-17 de la FIFA 2025. Damos la bienvenida al capitán con el número 3 de la Selección Nacional de Costa Rica, Thiago Cordero. Felicitamos al equipo clasificado a la Copa Mundial Sub-17 de la FIFA 2025. El equipo nacional de Costa Rica. Bueno, y Concacaf agradece el apoyo incondicional de nuestros patrocinadores Aramco, Macro, Volte, BF, Raya, Scotiabank, Ambisit Saudi, y a nuestros aficionados que nos acompañan desde aquí y desde casa. Gracias. Esperamos hayan disfrutado la clasificatoria sub-17 Concacaf 2025. Tengan una excelente noche y un regreso a su casa especial. Felicidades a la selección nacional de Costa Rica.
So the celebration is on in Costa Rica, and this is how they got there. It was a penalty right at the end of the first half in stoppage time, allowing leading goal scorer Isaac Padilla to blast this one into the corner, an unnecessary foul. So Costa Rica led 1-0 going into the second half. That meant that Trinidad would have to score 2, but they really never came close. Costa Rica continued to push the ball forward, and they did some of their best defending by playing offensive soccer. And Trinidad struggled to even get shots on frame. Costa Rica had a few chances, but neither keeper had to make many really difficult saves on the night. Just mild chances like that for the most part. Now, this was one of those opportunities that nearly found its way into the back of the net. Costa Rica with a few different long balls, trying a new approach in terms of their attacking. They tried shots from distance, both teams, but long and low percentage in the end. Trinidad just couldn't find a breakthrough. Shut out for the first time in the tournament here tonight. A lot of the battles happened in the middle of the pitch here this evening, with a lot of things in terms of offensive chances breaking down in the final third. That would have been the goal of the tournament right there. I mean, a blast from well outside the box. What a final punctuation mark that would have been. But that second goal was coming. It didn't happen here, but shortly after. It would be on this corner kick. The header off the turf, the underside of the bar, and into the back of the net for the decisive strike and a convincing victory for Costa Rica on their home pitch. That happened in the final minutes, and that was the final straw, as Costa Rica gets the victory 2-0 here at home. So they win Group B. They go undefeated, posting 3 shutouts in 4 games. And a demonstrative performance over the course of this last week in their home country, and earning one of 8 berths from this Concacaf region in the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. So, once again, Group B ends here tonight with Costa Rica winning the table. 3 wins, no losses, 1 draw. And Costa Rica advances from this Group B at the Concacaf Under-17 qualifiers. Costa Rica with a win on the final night of the tournament, and they secure their spot in the Under-17 World Cup. Once again, the final, Costa Rica 2, Trinidad and Tobago nothing, as we say good night from Costa Rica.